Hi guys, it's Clinton here from Bat and Ball Cricket. Thanks for checking in for this episode. Without a doubt, the What's in My Kit Bag episode is my most requested content each year. However, over the last couple of years, my gear's become really stable with the guys at B3, and even though there is a fairly big swap out of my kit this year, the actual design of that kit's fairly similar, so not a huge swap out. So I'm not only going to give you a look at what's in my kit bag for the Australian summer for season 22-23, but I'm also going to talk you through in the way that I go about packing my kit bag and the way to keep it, it's nice and efficient for me when I get padded up, but also that it means that I can stay nice and contained with inside the change room to ensure I'm being nice and respectful to my teammates, to ensure that I'm not impacting their preparation by taking up too much space in the change room. Guys, first thing, it's a new kit bag for me this year. Well, kind of. It is one of the official Cricket Australia kit bags, but it is a second-hand bag. It is one that's been used previously. I wasn't unhappy with my previous kit bag, but this one has the distinct benefit of large external pockets. So there's this full length one on this side, two really large ones closest to me, and then big ones at the end. And that's really helpful for a cricketer that likes to stay nice and organised. I'm not going to go around all of the external pockets because the things that I keep in and around the bag is very similar from year to year. So if you check up here, there is the link to the earlier episodes of What's in My Kit Bag where you can might check that out. Well guys, but we are going to go into one pocket, and that's up this end. I really like having my fielding shoes on the exterior of my bag, and the reason for that is it means I can wheel my kit bag into the change room, put it down, get out some shoes, put those on, and I'm out on the field doing some warm-ups without needing to disrupt any of my kit. I'm using the Asics 350 not out, and these are last year's variant. The Asics 350 not out is designed more as a bowling all-rounder shoe, so it has the spike configuration and the stability pieces to be able to handle the rigours of bowling, while also being light enough to being able to use for batting. I'm using this as my bowling shoe, and I have cut out that big toe to try and stop me from bruising and losing my big toe each season. I made the move to using these shoes in around about Christmas time of last year, and have been using them exclusively as my bowling and fielding shoe since then, and have been really happy with them. Well guys, as we jump inside the kit bag, I do have it set up to simulate match day. So when I come into the ground, I come in past the scorer's table. And so the one thing that I usually do first is actually take out the scorer's satchel and put that on the scorer's table as I come past. When I get into the change room, there's a couple of things that I do to get my kit set up for the day. So a couple of things that I have in here is I have my playing clothes. So I have two full sets of playing clothes, plus socks and sweatbands and those kind of things. I like to take those out of the bag, out of my main kit bag, and I hang up my playing shirts. I then also have my bag of hats. So I have my wide brim hat that I pretty much exclusively field in, and then I have my club playing hat, which I pretty much only field in when it's too windy for my wide brim hat. I have changed hat bags this year. I have got a new helmet, and so I've just taken the helmet bag from there, and am using that for my hats. And that one has a nice string on it, and generally I hang that from the hook in the change room as well, so it's nice and easy for me to know where my hats are. The last thing that I usually take out too is my towel. I like to put that one onto the hook or either on the seat beside me. Now that is where I will leave my kit set up for the day. And so I will actually put the lid down and zip the kit bag back up. Change rooms are notorious for things being spilt like sunscreen and water, but guys can also throw around their sweaty shirts and those kind of things. And those things generally is not great for cricket gear. So if you can avoid any accidental spills by zipping your bag back up, that'd be my recommendation. Alright guys, so when it comes time for me to padding up, unfortunately across the last couple of seasons, my team at various points has had a little bit of an issue with losing wickets in quick succession, and so it's not uncommon for me to have a little bit of time pressure on me for when it comes time to padding up. So as a result, I have changed the configuration of my kit a little bit this year, and that just to make it a little bit more efficient for me when I get padded up. With regards to my groin protection, I've been pairing my groin protector with a jock strap for about the last decade, and so that's the first thing that needs to go on. So after stripping down to my full-length skins, I put on my jock strap. So I've got a Gray-Nicolls jock strap paired with a Shock Dr. Titanium. Now there is a little bit of a question there that isn't a titanium groin protector a little bit of overkill? Well, here's a quick shot of one of the England batsmen's groin protectors after being hit during the last Ashes. A shattered groin protector is never a good thing. Even at the amateur level, I have seen cracks in groin protectors, so having that little bit of extra protection isn't a bad thing. Okay, so after my groin protector is on, then I put on my plain clothes, so obviously my batting pants go on, socks and those kind of things, and then I need to put some shoes on. And I use a different set of shoes for batting and for bowling. So as you go inside this particular bag, we've got my batting shoes, which are also Asics 350 not out. However, these are the earlier colour scheme. So these are the version from 2000 and 2021. My fielding shoes are the 2021-22 colour scheme, and there is an updated version that's kind of a teal colour. That is the 22-23 colour version. They are identical in every way other than their colour scheme. Now, the reason why I'm going to be using the Asics 350 both for batting and bowling, but in a different set of shoe, the main reason is cutting out that big toe. There's nothing worse than getting hit directly on the toe, and so I need another set of shoes. I really, really like the Asics 350, and even though it is designed predominantly as a bowling all-rounders shoe, I really like the stability pieces that are in the shoe. I'm someone that has custom orthotics, and I need that bit of extra stability, and so I really, really like these shoes as a batting shoe. So those are what I go on next. After that, I put on my batting pads. Now this year I am using the new set of B3 batting pads. Now these pads are not a retail version of pads. These pads are very, very similar to my old set of pads, both in their functionality and their design. As a result, these are top of the range pads and could easily be used at international level. One of the things that I really like that B3 have now done is move to embossed logos, both on their pads and on their batting gloves, and I think that just takes the brand to that next level. You kind of see at the moment that those brands that are the top tier with their softs have all moved to these embossed logos, and probably then those that haven't you'd consider in a next tier down. After my batting pads, I then put on my thigh pad, or my thigh protection. Now you might have noticed that when I did take out my groin protector, I didn't put my thigh pads back down on top of my shoes. That's because I knew that the first thing I would need after putting my pants on were my shoes. And so that's one of my little bit of a hints here, is that if you can pack your gear in a way that means that you don't have to double handle your gear, that's really advantageous. And if you have to double handle, make sure you don't triple handle your gear before you need to put it on. So I'm continuing to use the Remfry outer and inner thigh pads. These are entering about their 4th or 5th season, have to be about 5 seasons now, and these are still in really, really good condition. Other than a little bit of wearing other than a little bit of fading of the toweling on the inside. This started as a really jet black and it's now gone to sort of a brown color. Other than that, these are still in really good conditions. The Remfry is absolutely an investment, so I understand the hesitation for the expense, but I've been training more in the last 2 or 3 seasons, and I've had these for close to 5 now, and they're still in pristine condition. Most thigh pads are wearing out at about the 2 to 3 year mark, so well and truly worth the investment. So guys, that's everything that I put on in the change room. Once I'm at that point, the remaining items I actually take with me out of the change room and put on just before going on to bat. So first one we're going to go through is actually my helmet. I've got a new helmet this year. This one is one of the Shrey Masterclass Air 2.0, and this has got a titanium grille. So this is kind of still considered the top of the range helmet from the guys at Shrey. It's the helmet used by 3 out of the big 4 test batsmen, so that being Virat Kohli, Steve Smith and Joe Root. There is a new version of a Shrey helmet called the Groin, and that is becoming popular. Guys like David Warner and Matthew Wade can be seen in that helmet. This is a custom version of the helmet, and so you can see my club's embroidered logo there on the helmet. That's done as part of the manufacturing process and gets shipped out. So we did get together a couple of the clubmates, and we have done a custom order to get to the minimum numbers. In regards to the Masterclass Air 2.0, the most recent version of this helmet now has foam at the back of the head. Previously, this version of the helmet did have, or the previous versions of the Shrey helmet did have a strap at the back of the head. This is the second time that I've had a Shrey helmet, and the second time I've had a custom version, and I'm extremely happy with the quality of the helmets, of both helmets across the board from Shrey. Right, when it comes to hand protection, I'm using the B3 traditional style batting gloves. These are the top of the range batting gloves from the guys at B3, and at the beginning of every season I purchase a new set of batting gloves. I prefer the sausage finger or traditional style design. Personally, I think they look classier, but also they give you better protection. And that, as I start to get on into the twilight of my cricketing career, being able to protect my hands and protect myself is something that's really important. Now, I do have two sets of gloves in here. These ones were my number one set of gloves, and they're my newly purchased gloves, and they become my gloves that I start every innings in. Brisbane is a pretty hot, a pretty humid place, and it's not uncommon for me to wanting to change gloves or to sweat through the palms of my gloves. I'm not a huge changer of gloves the way that some of the professionals are, but if it is a little bit humid and my gloves are starting to get a bit sweaty, I will change them at a drinks break or at a major break. My number two set of gloves were my match set of gloves from last year, so they're still in reasonably good condition. My number two set of gloves from the previous season go out of my match kit bag and become my training gloves. The final two things in here are my bats, and we'll do these in the reverse order. So this first one is predominantly my net bat or wet weather bat. This has been my match bat for the last couple of seasons. This is a B3 Bespoke, and it is the Bespoke was one of the professional shapes. One of their sponsored pros back in 2016, and it's a shape that I've really liked, and that's one of the benefits of B3. You can replicate that. So this is the second version of that bat that I've had. B3 have changed their stickers, and they have these really fetching new stickers, and these are in the chrome or silver version. And they've also changed the way that they go about labelling their timber. So this is an elite LE, so a grade 1 plus edition bat. My match bat, which is an exact copy of the previous bat that we've just seen. It looks very similar, and that's one of the benefits of the guys of B3. They can copy bats exactly. This is my match bat. This is an Elite Plus, and so this is a 3-stripe, so it's actually a level below the bat that I'm using as my number 2 bat. Reasons for that is it's got a little bit of a hard bar across the face, but the performance of this bat is equal to, if not slightly better. So it's just this small blemish across the playing face, which does mark it down a little bit. If it wasn't for that, this would absolutely be an LE. This is an absolute cracking bat. So there's just that shape of that guy again. Alright guys, so that includes all of my playing kit out of the bag. I will share a couple of tips with you. You will see that I have a number of individual bags. Now I like that because it helps me to keep my gear nice and organised, helps keep my kit well protected. Your helmet in particular has a number of sharp edges on it around the screws, around the edge of the plastic, and also on these join parts on the grill, and those pieces can be quite damaging for the PU of your gear. So having your gear individually wrapped, for want of a better term, allows it to stay nice and well protected in your kit bag. My next tip is making sure that you pack your kit bag in the same order every time. The reason for this is that it's actually a good methodical piece for you to follow. I personally use it for when I get out. If I'm particularly frustrated with the way that I've got out, I repack my kit bag in the same way. It's allowing me a way to cool down before coming out and rejoining my teammates. The other piece is that if you have to pack in a rush, if you've got a place for everything in your kit bag and you pack your stuff in the same order, it means you can identify very quickly, even when you're in a rush, when you may have missed something, and you can identify that straight away and not end up leaving something in a change room or at a training session. Guys, the last piece for me is this has not been an instructional video or a how-to video. This is simply the way that I've gone about packing my kit bag. Your particular configuration might need to be different because you're a wicketkeeper or you don't have as much stuff, or your bag might actually not allow for this particular configuration. I'd suggest that you go for a way to set up your bag that makes sense for you. Guys, if you've made it this far in the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Also hit the notification bell because I do have a number of episodes that I intend to release over the Australian summer, and you want to find out about those as soon as they come out. Bat and Ball Cricket is also on the socials, so on Facebook and on Instagram as Bat and Ball Cricket Official. So please hang over there and give those a like and a follow. Guys, as is always the case, if there's anything in this episode that you have seen that you have any questions or any comments to make, more than happy to answer those as best that I can. And the last piece, if you'd like to hang around to the very end of this episode, there is some recommended content there for you from Bat and Ball Cricket to keep giving you that cricketing fix. Right guys, this is Clinton from Bat and Ball Cricket. We'll catch you in the next instalment. Bye for now.